little birdie told me that some parents were upset, and that's where I show up. So I'm here to do my duty, whatever this is. Today's video, Roasting the Elderly, is brought to you by... Chadtronic is brought to you by G Fuel, a natural energy drink formula that is a healthy alternative to sugar-loaded energy drinks that is both delicious and has no crash. Get it in powder, get it in a can, use code CHAD at checkout while the promotion lasts. Some of you might be thinking that I'm reacting to like an ancient video here, because like the Super Nintendo Classic or whatever it's called that came out like kind of a while ago. But no, this is surprisingly a recent video. I am not kidding. So yeah, I was sent this. Let's give it a watch. Looks pretty ridiculous.
It seems like a normal gaming system, but it's far from it.
What is this bottom headline? X-rated games. Affordable game console with hidden racist and sexual content. But it's affordable. What's with that choosing of words? That's very strange. What is this, low-key an advertisement? Are they trying to move this thing off the shelves? Why are we highlighting that it's affordable?
The Super Mini SN02 preloaded with 800 games looks nearly identical to the original Nintendo SNES. Even the packaging is nearly a perfect copy.
The frick are you talking about? Packaging is a perfect copy? These are very clearly different. They're not even the same size. One says Nintendo, the other does not. One conveys there's 821 games. I like it says 8-bit when clearly like Super Nintendo is supposed to be 16-bit. Amateur hour. What the heck, China? Okay, I won't be dumb. I mean, sure, these look similar, but I mean, it's not a perfect clone or anything.
But it's not created by, sold by, or affiliated with Nintendo in any way.
It looks exactly like a miniature version of the old Super Nintendo.
Taylor Turley's 5-year-old son was gifted the console for Christmas, and she was ready to share some gaming nostalgia with him.
I was raised in the 90s. A lot of these games are very familiar with me. I honestly wanted to play the game before I gave it to him.
But she quickly realized some of the preloaded games included offensive or racist language and pornographic material, like this image of what appears to be 2 naked children in a tent. The book there labeled porn, and one with a sexually explicit character that looks like Ronald McDonald.
So what's been elaborated so far is that we've identified that this is not an official Nintendo product. Parent mistakenly bought this, or I guess she doesn't make clear. She just says she bought it, but she doesn't make it clear whether her decision to buy this non-branded Nintendo product was intentional or a mistake. It's not really made clear. This is a little weird. What is this even like from? Like, I don't think this is original content. I mean, like, is this a modified version of McKids, like the NES game McKids? I mean, nothing of value is being really lost here if we don't have the real version of McKids, because McKids isn't a very good game anyway. But yeah, of course, this is not good to have on anything for a product that kids should be playing on. Yeah, obviously very inappropriate. I guess I'm just kind of confused as far as who to be upset with so far in this news broadcast. Who do we be upset with here? The people ripping off Nintendo and putting inappropriate games. Obviously, that's very awful. But I mean, is all the blame to be put on them? Isn't a little bit of blame to be put on the parent for not buying an official Nintendo product or buying a non-Nintendo product and expecting it to have official Nintendo games on it? I'm not sure what were the expectations buying this product. I guess I'm a little confused.
She says she was also shocked to find a game with racist characters.
There's another game that is supposed to be like Mario 2?
Wait, are we just claiming that Doki Doki Panic itself, which is, Mario 2 is just a reskinned, different game called Doki Doki Panic? Dropping some serious gaming trivia here in today's video. I'm sure none of you watching knew that fact, but are we claiming that Doki Doki Panic is racist? I'm not here to debate that in particular, but if we're claiming that this is some sort of modified game to be made extra inappropriate, I find that to be kind of funny because the only way this game was ever modified was to add Mario. So are we just making the claim that Doki Doki Panic is racist. I don't know. Maybe it is. But the fact that this unmodified game is being called out here, I don't know. It's a bit amusing to me.
And we found it being sold in person at an electronics store in Corona, Queens, displayed right here on a table outside the store, along with what appears to be a knockoff Nintendo Switch.
Are you kidding me, NBC News? Does that look like a Switch to you? Really? Oh my God. God help our society. That is not a Switch. It is so obviously not. No wonder people are falling for this stuff left and right. No one is educated. If you really think you're gonna get a Super Nintendo Classic for anything less than like $1 million, if you're getting it for $10 somewhere, brand new, red flag. Red flag. Your fault. You fell for it. I have no pity for you. Except if you're maybe grandma or elderly. Bootleg Nintendo products have existed for like 1 million years. What is this, like amateur hour? If it doesn't say Nintendo on it, it's probably not Nintendo. And that's like rule number 1. That's like bootleg avoidance on easy mode. Because there are lots of bootleg things that do say Nintendo on it. But if it does not even say Nintendo on the product, guess what? It's probably not Nintendo. I thought I was just getting a Super Nintendo at a good deal at like $5. Surely there's Nintendo products out there for $5. No! That is not, those do not exist. You're living in a fantasy land if you think Nintendo products cost anything less than $500. Get in line with the rest of us and drain your wallet like everybody else, okay? That was quite the rant I just went on, all based on NBC misidentifying this as a Switch knockoff. The only thing that's even comparable with this to a Switch is the fact that it's got red and blue colors on it. I mean, this is pretty obviously like, what is this, a Vita PSP knockoff? Something like that. This is not anything like a Switch.
Here is the loading screen, and we see Luigi here, like a cartoon version of Luigi, very familiar. Looks like a fun game so far. Everything looks pretty normal. Everything looks pretty normal.
Are you serious? This looks normal to you so far? You got some of the crappiest JPEG artifacted pixel art, along with like hand-drawn unofficial clip art. Frickin' Buster Bunny. You think this looks normal so far? Shoot game with Mike Tyson? Really? This looks normal.
Everything looks pretty normal. But as we kept scrolling, we're deep into the games now. It's 111 is the number of games that we've gotten to get to this screen. And on the same page, we have Mickey Mouse 3, which sounds like a game. Sure, you let your kids play that. That's fine. But on the same page, we have one that sounds much more explicit and questionable.
This is just one of those cases where it's like you buy cheap Chinese knockoff. You know, they have no quality control over there. They just smash a bunch of ROMs from anywhere they can find so that they can put 8,000 games in one on the box. That's all they do. They don't check. You think they're going to sit down and play all 800 ROMs from beginning to end?
And then as we hit play, we were even more shocked. Okay, right off the bat, that's not the Mowgli I remember. It would just be a normal game if it weren't for Mowgli being naked. We've reached out to Disney for comment on this, but have not heard back.
Are these guys stupid? Of course Disney is not going to comment on this. They have nothing to do with it. What are they thinking? Did they think they like collaborated with this Chinese knockoff and like put this on there? Like, no, of course they didn't do that. What do you want Disney to even say about this? This is like kindergarten level understanding of who's responsible for what here. I find it extra hilarious that they even reached out to Disney for comment, but not only that, they mentioned that they did so and they didn't comment in their news report. Like, what are they insinuating? That Disney made this and they're trying to hide it? This is what...
After Kyla reached out to Amazon, the company told her they were investigating. And in a statement to NBC News, said the product was, quote, investigated and removed. But as of today, it's now listed on the site by another third-party seller. Walmart also telling NBC News the game will be removed because it does not comply with our prohibited products policy. But we found one that appears to be the same system by a third-party seller today. The online posts selling the systems do not mention anything about inappropriate content. They even receive some 5-star reviews.
People are probably leaving it 5-star reviews because a lot of the people bought it knowing what they were buying. There are people that are perfectly okay with buying a cheap Chinese knockoff of a Nintendo product, knowing what they're getting. Should the stuff be for sale? Probably not, but it's there, and there are people that want this kind of stuff. There is a market for it. So it's pretty funny for the news report to just be like aghast that there's anyone that left 5-star ratings for this product. There are people that are okay with buying products like this, knowing that there is going to be things wrong with it. You know, this is not something that went through the rigorous quality control of Nintendo. And there are a lot of people that know that.
If you go into the descriptions of these consoles, they are marketed to children. They're marketed to give to your friends' children. My warning would just be to make sure that you go through the console yourself and test out these games. Even if you're not interested in playing it, just be aware of what your child is taking in all accounts.
Why is the censor bar so ridiculously long? What the heck? If I were a parent that bought this innocently, making a mistake, I would, take responsibility. The signs were there. This could have been easily avoided had I educated myself more. That's the lesson I would take away from this had I been the parent that accidentally bought this for my child. But I would certainly not go to the local news station and make a big fuss about how I was an idiot and bought something like this. There are always fake things out there. Fake watches, fake shoes, fake game consoles, fake games. That will probably always be a thing, and it will probably never go away.
All right, Stephen Romo joins us now live here on Top Story. So, Stephen, I mean, this is pretty eye-opening, and it's incredible how much it looks like the old Super Nintendo. How hard was it to get to the games that were inappropriate? I mean, could any kid find them? And you found things that were even sicker than what we saw in your story, correct?
Yeah, stuff we could not include in the story, definitely on this game. That's one of the weird things about it, though, is if a parent gives this to their child, they might look through it for a while and not find anything. But after scrolling just a few pages down, all of a sudden you see some strange titles that seem racist. The games themselves are actually pretty normal, but then you get to the one like we saw, the Jungle Book version. There is a normal version of the Jungle Book as well, but then for inexplicable reasons, there's this sexually explicit version in there. And there are some totally good games, some nostalgic games. I played the Star Trek game. That was actually pretty fun for a while.
There are some good games on it, aside from, the sexual stuff. It's affordable. It's affordable, guys. They've kept that headline on the bottom of this broadcast the entire time. This, along with showing the Amazon listings and everything, this is an ad. It's basically an ad.
That's why I don't understand the reason that this product would actually have that. It'd be good to get a response from the manufacturer, but there's actually not one listed on the box.
But seriously, this was like knockoff product education for babies. Like, I'm really surprised any 30-year-old adult would mistakenly buy this for one of their children. Really? Grandma? Yeah. Anyone alive and that's walked on this earth for more than 18 years should definitely know there are companies ripping off Nintendo. Like, this is not a new concept. I should definitely step by this shady pop-up and pick up that Nintendo Switch, though. I bet that's a pretty good deal. I bet it's affordable.